you guys know United States and Israel are preparing a massive bombing operation targeting energy infrastructure in the inside Iran. Um, President Trump seems to be very much leaning towards massive escalation right now. That's what all the reports are saying. You could choose to believe it or not. He might change his mind last minute, but as of right now, it seems like he's leaning into massive escalation. And apparently, what they're reporting on, again, you could choose to believe it or not, is that it's going to be bigger than anything else that has been done before. If they're saying that, that means that bigger than Epic Fury, bigger than the 40-day war, right? So that is huge. Um, and so there's a lot of high level military planning right that is happening right now. There's a lot of coordination, a lot of big warnings to people, like to people getting out of the region, including not even flying over the Middle East. That's exactly the type of stuff that we saw right before February 28th, before Khamenei was killed, and then everybody thought that all of the signs suggest that something big is about to happen, and it did. So if this time something big happens again, it will be completely aligned with what we saw before. So yeah, U.S. embassies were issued urgent alerts advising citizens to leave the region immediately due to imminent escalation. Um, and the attacks on commercial shipping are continuing. Within the Islamic Republic, the understanding is that an attack is coming. They're getting ready for a ground operation. They're on state TV. They're of the Islamic Republic. They're acting like, yeah, this is going to happen anyways. The way they're talking about it on state TV is that the Americans have lost their mind because the Americans know that they're going to lose this, but they are being manipulated so much by the Israelis that they can't see that this is a losing battle for them, and they're walking into a battle that they cannot win. They are saying that even if United States has bigger air power, as soon as they put their boots on the ground, that's when the Islamic Republic is gonna have the upper hand. And they're saying like they can't. They're acting like they can't wait for this to happen. They're acting like this is gonna happen, and they're so excited about it because they're like, finally we get our hands on directly on American soldiers. The way they advertise it is that American and Israeli soldiers are cowards and they cannot fight man to man. That's why they shoot from far away, from the sky and from their from far away, because they cannot face you. And now, because the Israelis have managed to manipulate the Americans and they're about to enter our soil, finally we get to have a fair fight and show them what we're made out of. This is what they're saying. So we don't know if this is going to actually happen or not. If it We don't know if Israel is going to get involved. My read on it was, if this happens without Israel involved, it is probably with the intention of limited strikes. Even if it's bigger, it's still limited. If it is with Israel, it's a lot more significant. Unfortunately, even if it does escalate, I think Monkey also agrees with me on this. The goal is not to finish the job, even if it does get a lot bigger. The goal is still to get the regime back on the table, which is a failing strategy, because there is no deal to be made with the Islamic Republic. One, also, the Islamic Republic knows that the Islamic Republic doesn't care about the infrastructure within Iran. The Islamic Republic doesn't care about the people. The Islamic Republic doesn't even, it only cares about survival. And its calculation, wrongly or correctly, is, even if they destroy a lot, what we will do in the meantime, while they're destroying, I don't know, our power plants and bridges and kill other regime leaders, what we will do while they're doing that, thinking that this will end us, thinking that this will make us surrender, what we will do is shoot our missiles at not just American bases, but also at energy infrastructure all over the Middle East to cripple the global economy, something that we haven't escalated to that level yet. But also, we will keep shooting at American bases until they keep forcing them to keep having to use their missile interceptors for just to get even lower than before, until America, like, because we have more missiles than they have missile interceptors. So we'll just keep shooting at their bases, making them burn through all of their interceptors at a very fast rate, until they're defenseless and vulnerable, not just to us, but to all their other enemies. That's what their understanding is. So just wanted to put that out there for you guys about what might happen and how the Islamic Republic is treating it. And just wanted to see if you guys have any opinions on that and what you guys think. Um, all right, do we have any twos in this?
Yes, there's my two, and later there is one more. Yes, wait, Raheem, I did not. I will check that in a sec. But personally, I also want to remind that before the attack, that the big attacks, like there was mostly silence. Now it's very noisy. There are a lot of big statements out there. So I doubt how big this scale will actually be. I do think there will be an attack. I'm not sure if anything from the Israeli side, since we didn't really get any statements, any updates, anything. Like no, like in our side of things, it's basically completely quiet here. The shelters are still closed. Like there's no, there is nothing that shows really preparation, except for people just like concerned because they're reading the news. I think the main concern is that the U.S. will attack energy resources in Iran, and from that there's no really going back. And I think that's a big thing, right? I think that if the U.S. actually attacks more energy sources and fuel tanks and stuff like that, then it will just be full ham. I think that even if Israel doesn't join, at that point Iran will attack Israel. I think they will attack everyone around them, a bit like we saw last time, where they started to attack a lot of different countries, even targeted places that didn't really have any military bases, or we saw like the malls that were targeted, things like that. How much is it close to actually happen? Well, there's the one website that I keep forgetting its name, that have all the bets that the people throw money at, and up until now it was at 95% every day that there won't be an attack, there won't be an attack. And now it is dropped to 70% there won't be an attack by the 2nd of August, which is a meaningful thing. That we should consider the opinion of the people, especially when they're willing to put money over it. But yeah, that's my point. Next one is Sherry.
I'm just gonna skip my turn. Go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
I always like to hear Sherry.
Thank you, Armin.
No.
But let's just go ahead. I'm gonna save my toast for later.
Okay.
Okay.
Then Monkey.
Yeah, I have a problem with any form of a deal. I think the reformers are even more dangerous. The hardliners are stuck like boomers on nuclear. There's a lot of things that are more dangerous than nuclear and can affect the whole planet, and it's very hard to stop. Nuclear has a localized area of effect. Viruses don't. They can just keep spreading and spreading and spreading. This is why the reformers are more dangerous than the hardliners, and this is why the boomer mentality of the only danger is a nuclear deal is also dangerous. That's a boomer mentality. We live in the COVID world. Who forgot we live in the COVID world? They could fake having a virus and throw the economy and the world into a tailspin.
Okay. Thank you, Monkey. Cat?
Yeah. I actually think that I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's not completely accurate, Sapir. Maybe I'm wrong again. From what I heard, the army and the authorities, like generally in Israel, are like have raised, even raised before it was high before, but they raised the alert level, and they're basically like ready as if there is going to be a war. But the assumption is that like it can be like changed at any moment. And I think that an attack together may not happen, but the assumption is that even if it's not, it will drag Israel, like not drag, we want to be dragged, but it will like pull Israel into it. And it's not completely true that there is no like actual change in, like, I don't know, in regular schedules and all of that. But it's been so long that it feels like routine, but it's not routine at all. By the way, anyone saw the video that the Islamic Republic released? They did like this AI video of the light goes out in Iran, and then it goes out in Saudi and Bahrain and Qatar and everywhere, and in Israel, including West Bank, but not Gaza. I don't know why. And then it's like, oh, everybody will be in the dark. Sure, buddy, sure.
Okay. Thank you, Cat. Roy?
This is not Roy. This is Sheikh Bukul Yassin. Every time I see this. Guys, I don't understand what's going on in this panel. You have a monkey, you have a cat. Is that a zoo or this panel? It's very confusing. Also with the numbers, one is the two, two is the one. If I want to answer, if I want to give an, if you want, just say I want, dictatorship. Armin, you know what it is. You love this monarch. You love the king. You need to be like a king. You say, this is my kingdom. This is my domain. I start now. Listen, guys, you all talk Israel. The moment they come, they drop one little foot, one little Jew foot on the ground of Iran, kaput. That's it, finito. There's no Israel, there is no America. America will be destroyed. I'm not saying it. Listen, I don't want destroyed. I say leave Iran. They did nothing wrong. Let live and let live. Okay. What did they do? They want to build rockets. You build rockets all the time. You build the rockets to the moon. You build the rockets to the Mars. Mars. It's not a very good candy. I don't like it. So I don't understand what they build a candy a rocket for the Mars. Build the rocket for the sneakers. Build the rocket for something else. Either way, you want to do now war all the time just for oil. Listen, go to Saudi Arabia. They have oil. Go to the Russians. You don't need to mess with the Iranians. What did they do? Did they scream a little bit death to America? Did they scream a little bit death to Israel? This is it. They tell you not to put the thing, to put this stuff on the women. Fine, so what? This is culture. This is culture. Don't mess with the Iranians. I'm telling you, from my experience, Iranians are bad people, but it's just don't mess with them. They will kick your ass. It's not gonna be pretty, Israel, very tiny place. It's like a pimple. It's like this. You poop it. That's it. That's what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? Iran has millions of people. Don't mess with the Iranians. I'm saying it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think we have an Islamist that managed to infiltrate the chat.
Oh
So
my god,
so
that was
weird.
perfect. That was 10 out of
I'm
10.
not Islamist. I'm pure Islam. I love everybody. I love as long as you pay the jizya. What is the problem? I don't kill you. You pay. Give me what I want. It is divine. It is divine from God. Said the Jews have money. The Jews give the money. That's it.
What about the Christians then? They don't
Guys,
have the money.
we need better border control here. I don't know what happened. It's just like that. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Sherry, you now wanted to respond?
Okay, yes, Sherry. You're muted. Unmute. Unmute.
It's all about the children, okay? It's all about the children. Thank you for your great observations, because you is a Michael Jackson. I'm just gonna tell you, it's all about the children.
Oh my god. What's happening? Okay. Thank you, Sherry. Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
Shona, I'm
Shona,
sorry.
what's that?
Shona.
Okay. You're muted, Shen. There you go. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we could hear it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm not that entertaining. I'm sorry. I brought up in a super chat this morning in our earlier stream about why I think that, or I told you that I thought that he was going to probably do a heavy strike and then go back in January. The reason that I think that is because it's not about missiles or what we have in the military bank. I'm specifically talking about domestic infrastructure and shielding the American people. I think that one of the things that's potentially holding Trump back is that we are full steam ahead in reshoring and rebuilding our infrastructure and all of these things, but there's still bottlenecks. Things still take time. Like, it doesn't matter. There's no way around. You can't do everything overnight. And so I think one of the things he's trying to do, and the reason I bring this up is because of monkeys, Wuhan, 50 different Wuhans, is there's a lot of stuff around getting access to medicine, about making each region semi-autonomous. Obviously, we're in the United States, we're a nation, so we're not going to be completely autonomous in each region, but to basically build some buffer zones, so that nobody is 100% reliant on each other. That's one of the things he's doing if you look at the grid. So I think that one of the things that might be going on is he doesn't necessarily want to go full scale until more of those things are in place. Now, they're not going to all be built by January, but a lot of the funding will be in place by January. And there's active building going on already. They're already building the semiconductors and the micro, whatever, I forget the technical names, but the little tiny nuclear plants that can, power up a whole neighborhood or whatever. They're building those actively right now. They're also rebuilding ships. And the other thing too is in September, the end of this month, actually, the end of August, they'll be starting out on their 12-week courses for some of the jobs that they need to build for AI and things like that. I don't know what all the jobs are. I just know that there's community colleges and trade schools that are getting funding to get these educational programs going. There's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of details because there's a lot of moving parts that I'm still trying to understand. But one of the reasons I think that he's trying to hold off until January, or hold off as long as humanly possible, is to get as much of this going in case of Wuhan 2.0 or China getting involved or whatever, to protect the American people. Because I think that he, unfortunately, is probably aware of the fact that this could go fully kinetic, World War III style, and he wants to have as much shielding in place before we get there. I think he doesn't want to get there, but I think he's aware of the fact that it might go there, and he's trying to just shield everything. So, the end.
I just want to remind everyone that as the official Mossad agent of this group, I have a flight this week, and I told Israel to not do anything, to not mess with the IRGC until then. Therefore, there will not be an attack from Israel. And if there is an attack, it's betrayers within the Mossad that did it, and not the responsibility of the country. And I request the IRGC to stop.
Well, there's your
Just
problem.
don't.
You should have talked to Ali, because he's in touch with CENTCOM. That's the problem. You were talking to the IDF. You should have talked to Ali instead.
You see, the problem is I'm autistic, and communication is a thing that I suck at. So, yeah, this is
Okay.
why we have mistakes sometimes. Okay,
That's okay.
Monkey.
Monkey.
Listen, we had Operation Warp Speed. And that was a disaster. Like rapidly developing some kind of buffer. You can't build a buffer zone for a virus that you don't know exists and might come into creation in the future. You can't buffer zone that out. There's no way to uh, there's no way to create some kind of grid force that's going to stop the global economy from going into a tailspin by taking care of America. Right? This is an isolationist, and I'm not saying that anything you said you're wrong. I'm just saying if you're going to look at the outlook and you want to defend yourself from that from a military standpoint, you would look at the global problem that would come from allowing the IRGC to have a whole bunch of weaponized bioweapons, right? The problem is not that it's local. The problem is not how the US can react to it. The problem is global. And isolating yourself and whatever you create is not going to help you with this. The only solution for this is getting rid of the IRGC, and the faster, the better. Ironman and I, on our previous show, checked out that in December 2025, they switched to more bioweapons testing and bioweapons warheads. All right. These people could already be creating something that cannot be detectable from space or from our regular types of search for nuclear dust. This us falling into the trap of relying on this nuclear dust and waiting for later is the problem. Waiting till December is the problem. Once they we already know they have the ballistic capability of reaching all the way to Diego Garcia, which means they can reach all the way into the European zone. That means they can reach all over the Middle East. That means they could put biological warheads on it because it's a lot easier to do and harder to detect than the nuclear warhead, which is why I'm telling you the boomer mentality of the hardliners and the boomer mentality of the administration that the problem here is nuclear is antiquated, especially when you look at what we just went through with Wuhan and knowing their connection that the Chinese have with the IRGC. And when we look at what it did to the global economy, it halted the global economy. There's no buffer zone that's going to save us from that. And the military knows this. The only way but they can't force him to listen. I think that he has to listen to the people that are telling him, look, it's not just nuclear. And that's why I'm sounding the alarm bell to see if anyone in the military starts echoing this and it's not just one person. The only way to fix this is to get rid of the IRGC because nuclear is the least of our problems.
Okay, thank you, Monkey. Sean.
I want to be clear. I'm not saying that I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I want to go full throttle right now. I want the regime gone yesterday. I have been screaming from my lungs, unleash the Jews for like the last 10 weeks at least. So I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm analyzing what's being built and looking at that as a vehicle of what's causing possible delays. I will say that I want to be clear. I don't think it's completely isolationist. What he's trying to do is good long term because it's not just about Iran. It's, and this is why I didn't say isolationist, I said insulationist, which means that you are not ideally, and I'm not saying that he's correct, I'm saying that he wants to put as much stuff in place so that you can't take out each region in America all at once, because right now everything is hyper centralized, or at least it was at the beginning of 2025. It's slowly getting decentralized. So they're building their own things, like, for example, bioweapons used on poultry. We talked about that, I think, on Monkey's show. Well, that's harder to do if each region and each town has their own processing plant and they grow their own chickens and everything's a vertical within that town or within that community or whatever. You have to spread it out more places. Right now, the way it is because everything's super centralized and goes to these places and that place. It's super easy for things to get completely contaminated. We had an egg recall, I think, in the last year because of that reason. So it's not isolationist in the sense of like the JD Vance sense or the JD Pence sense of like pure isolationism. It's more about insulating each region to be a little bit more autonomous in case of XYZ. And by the way, that does not mean, even though I completely support all of these projects, that does not mean that I think that delaying any of that because of all these projects is the correct thing to do. I think it's better and faster and smarter to just, there's 900 ghouls that I think should be taken out yesterday. So that's where I'm at, because they're calling for the death of people. So, I'm not saying that Monkey's wrong in his take. I'm not saying that he's wrong in his concerns. I'm just looking at why there might be a holdback.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.